Hi everyone, I'm JD from Willowbound Journals. Welcome back to my channel. Here is a Faith Jump Journal with Me episode, working in my new faith journal for the year. And what I'm doing is I'm working my way through the Bible from cover to cover, so start to finish. And anytime that it speaks to me, I am trying to do a page spread in my journal, in my faith journal. So that way I can document my journey with God this year, and just be reminded of how he's speaking to me, and put into place whatever he's speaking to me about. So yeah, it's really fun to record the journey in a journal, and do this regularly, a bit more regularly this year. And the passage that I'm looking at today is Genesis 2 verses 1 to 3, and I'll read that out and then let you know how that is speaking to me as I go about doing my page spread. And I'll also share basically how I faith journal. I got a lot of questions about how do I faith journal, what do I write about, from people who are wanting to start doing their own faith journaling, so I'll get to that in a bit too. So first let me read out the scripture. So the creation of the heavens and the earth and everything in them was completed. On the seventh day, God had finished his work of creation, so he rested from all his work. And God blessed the seventh day and declared it holy, because it was the day when he rested from all his work of creation. Now, one thing I love about this passage is that it's repetitive, and whenever there's repetition in the Bible, you know that it's important. It wants to repeat things so that it alerts us to focus on something. It's like, don't miss this, I'm repeating it, so pay attention. And what it's saying here is how God worked and he completed his work, and then he rested from his work, and he blessed the day, declared it holy, because it was the day when he rested from his work of creation. So it really hammers that one home for us. And yeah, that was really speaking to me at the moment, because this year I've gone into the year trying to live a more intentional and meaningful life. Instead of going through the motions, I felt myself last year just going through the motions and not really packing the days with meaning. It just kind of was, ho-hum, going through the motions. And this year I wanted to be more intentional about making the most of each day and not wasting each day or wasting the year, really. So I've put in place a whole bunch of different things. I'm doing the Intentional Life course. I'm doing a 52-week photo journal challenge to get me journaling more and recording my year. And I love the idea that, because when I journal, I only really journal if I did something that day, so that's going to help me to look for the wonder and look for the inspiration and look for the gold and look for the goodness every day, and go finding it, not just waiting for it to happen, but actively looking for it and actively capturing it in my journal. So that's, my journaling is a tool for me to get enjoyment out of, and a way of self-expression, and it's therapeutic and all of that, but also it's a way for me to document my life, and it's a tool for me to live a more, I don't know, this might sound a bit weird, but journal-worthy life. And so I love how it kind of goes hand in hand, and it's just such a wonderful tool for me. But what that all kind of made happen this year, with all those intentions and projects that I've got going on and goals, it's just a very busy year. And this passage just reminded me, make sure to make room for rest and peace this year. So I want to make sure I am getting enough rest every day and every week. So yes, I want to work hard. Yes, I want to get things done and live with intention and meaning. But every day I also want to make sure that I'm getting enough time just to recharge, time to spend with God, time to do something that I enjoy, and something that can, refill my batteries, recharge my batteries. That's my challenge to myself. Like, what can I do each day and each week this year to give me rest? And for everyone it will be different, but for me it's things like reading, making time for reading, going to the beach. When I go to the beach, that's just a really peaceful place for me. And sometimes if I'm feeling agitated or stressed, anxious, I'll just go to the beach and I'll stay there for as long as it takes until the stress goes away. Another thing is just to watch movies. Just, take an hour and a half or 2 hours out of my day just to kind of escape into a different world and give my mind a break from my own world. That really helps me, just having a break. And of course, spending time with God. So reading my Bible every day and doing these journaling sessions in my Bible is a form of rest. And I want to make room for all of that in my days. And I love how we can even be intentional about rest. And I know some of us can really struggle with the idea of rest. Some of us think, oh no, I can't rest, I've got too much to do, I need to keep doing things, and you might think it's selfish, or you might feel guilty to rest. But I love how right here at the beginning of the Bible, it's so drummed into us here in this passage. Rest is important. We need rest. The God of the universe rested and declared it holy and blessed rest. But I love that it also says that he finished his work of creation. So it's like, finish your work first, do your work well, finish your work for the day, and then go ahead and rest, So it's not about laziness, and it's not about working non-stop either. Work is good, rest is good. We need both in our lives, but they are equally important. So that's just a good reminder for me to work well and rest well every day. So what am I doing on this page spread? I'm just getting some blue pieces, because blue kind of represents peace to me, and peace is a stand-in for the word rest. And I've got some birds and butterflies just to symbolize a bit of nature. He rested from his work of creation. And the birds, the bird is a symbol of peace. And then just decorating it with as much blue as I can. These items either come from In Love Art Shop or Stationery Pal, and I've got Stationery Pal linked below with a discount code that you are most welcome to use. And let me just chat about how I go about doing my faith journaling. For me, this is how I do it. I basically read the Bible, and anything that speaks out to me, I will write that passage in my faith journal and dedicate one page per passage that speaks to me. And then I'll also write my thoughts on how is God speaking to me through this passage. How is it teaching me? How is it challenging me? What is it showing me? And then I also try to apply it to my life and go, well, how does this affect my life? How will I go about acting out how this is speaking to me in my life? So for example, this passage, how it spoke to me was about how important rest is, and therefore I looked at, well, how can I add more rest into my life? And I wrote that, time with God, reading, the beach, and movies. So that's how I kind of do it. I look for the scripture, and then I write down the scripture, I write down how it speaks to me, and then I write down how I can apply it in my life. So I hope that might help you. There's lots of ways to faith journal, of course. Some people just go ahead and write the scriptures that are speaking to them in the journal, and that's enough for them to have a place that will hold all of the scriptures that are speaking to them. Others might write their prayers in the journal. I used to do that. I found that for me, praying my prayers was much easier to do than praying in my head or out loud. As a writer, it just came much more easier to me to write them. And asking my questions of God in my journal, and often when I did that, he would answer me, and I would write down his answer. You might want to keep a prayer journal and write, your answers to prayer. You might just want to write a journal about your journey with God and how he is at work in your life. There's so many different ways to faith journal. You'll find what works for you. I also, as you can see, am doing a more visual journal style, in the more junk journal style, adding, pretty washi tapes and stickers and pictures. But I've done faith journaling where I've just written, just plain writing, get a plain lined notebook, and have just written out, my journey with God and my questions and prayers and thoughts and feelings and all of that kind of stuff. I like doing a more visual style just because it's a way to engage me and keep me interested and keep me, I don't know, motivated to keep journaling in this way. Creativity for me is something I enjoy, and so if I can connect with God through an enjoyable activity, well, that's wonderful. And I think that journaling, if you like journaling and if you like creating, those are gifts from God. Those are tools that He gives us to connect with Him. So that's how I see my own faith journaling, as a way to connect with God better, basically. So yeah, use your journal as a way to connect with Him. And there's one other thing I wanted to share about this passage. I love how God created the heavens and the earth, and that was His work, and that I connect with God as creator first and foremost, and that He created us in His image, so He created us creative. We have creative power, and I've always connected with Him that way because my whole life I've been creative, and my livelihood, I make a living through creativity. It's not just a hobby, it's not just something I enjoy, and it's not something that is just a therapeutic activity for me, but it's also my work. So it's also important for me to rest from my creative work. So just I'll put that out there too. Anyway, so I hope you enjoyed that journal with me session, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Thanks for watching. Bye guys.